Hari Om, Jai Gurudev. Om Sahana Vavatu Sahanau Bhunaktu Saha Viryankaravavahai Tejasvinavadhitamastu ma vidvishavahai. Om Shanti Shanti Shanti. Narayanam Namaskritya Naram Chaiva Narottamam Devim Saraswatim Chaiva Tato Jayamudirayet. Jai Gurudev. Yeah, although we covered only one or two slokas, it was very deep in that how we have to do our Atma Chintana, how that pounding has to be done was very beautifully explained. Vijatiya vritti rahita sajatiya vritti pravaha. So you slowly tame the mind with your mind, befriend your mind. Yeah. Please share.
And in the Atmabodha, the one you just said?
It was in the Atmabodha. Yeah, the sajatiya vritti rahita, that was actually Shankaracharya's definition of dhyana.
Sajata vritti?
Vijatiya vritti rahita. Vijatiya is different kinds of vrittis, different thoughts. Rahita, you're removing that. You're taking away the Vijatiya vritti rahita. Sajatiya vritti pravaha. It is the flood of like-minded, like thoughts, the right. Same thoughts. So that is dhyana.
So basically the thoughts that is covering the mind. So we have to remove, not removing thought, meaning quietening the mind, then calming the mind and steadying the mind. That is two things, right? So,
correct.
Okay. Then this one said something about in intellect, that the last was.
It said
it's in intellect.
Atma does not shine in everything. Sarvatra bhasate, but it shines as a pratibhimbam, as a reflection in a cleaned intellect, in a cleansed intellect. Buddhau.
That's what I'm wondering. Like, so it's in the mind, but it's still in the consciousness, like it's in the mind, but then we have to.
It is covered. No, the avarana is there. Remember, Vikshepa and the avarana. So those have to be cleansed. That is why karma yoga is required. Whatever we do, it is dharmic. It is according to our dharma, and then you do it 100%, and then take whatever result comes. And offer it, whatever you're doing, offer it as an offering to the divine. So with this in mind, if we do every action in the waking state with this attitude, then that buddhi gets polished little by little. The antakarana gets polished. And then finally the reflection of Atma becomes very, very clean, and you're able to, it shines forth there. That is what, no? Sada sarvagato pyatma na sarvatrava bhasate buddhau buddhavevava bhaseta svacheshu pratibimbavat. Nana gave a parallel shloka from chapter 7 where he says, Bhagwan says, I'm not there in every I don't shine everywhere. I don't um, present myself everywhere. Although I'm there everywhere, it is only in the Shuddhatma, in the yeah. Anybody else wants to share, please? Because we'll go back to actually we stopped at this.
Oh, that sloka is Naham Prakasah Sarvasya Yoga Maya Samvritaha Mudoyam Nabi Janati Loko Mama Jamavyayam.
Loko
Basically,
Ajamavyayam.
Loko Mama Jama Avyayam.
Mam Ajamavyayam. Yeah.
Yeah. Mom Ajam Avyayam, right. Who is not unborn, Avyayam, who is changeless and all that. Na Abhijnanati, does not know. Na Abhijnanati, right. That's a sloka number 25 on the 7th chapter.
Wow.
Yeah.
Can you quickly go with Guna and Swabhava, Madhur Brahmaraji?
Yeah. So, Guna is like the example he gave is your all those that you acquire. For instance, he gave the example of my example where he said, this is your profession, you are a female, you're a wife, mother, all those things. Similarly, there are others who have their own different gunas. Gunas can be different from one person to the other, one thing to the other. But what is the swabhava? The swabhava is nothing but the Atma Swarupa. That is there everywhere. So that is the swabhava. Swabhava does not change. It is the changeless. Whereas the guna is the changing entity, the outer envelopments that can keep changing. Like in those 5 attributes of Brahma and Jagat, we have Asti, Bhati, Priti, and Nama Rupa. So the first 3 attributes, that is the Asti, Bhati, Priti, exist in everything. They are there no matter what. In every aspect of creation, these 3 are there. Whereas Nama Rupa is what keeps changing. So the Nama Rupa is the gunas that are changing.
Can you tell me those 3 things? Ati Bhati, what is that?
Asti Bhati, Priyam, Priyam, and Nama Rupa. There's actually a shloka which Nana said, but I don't remember that shloka. Asti Bhati Priyam Nama Rupa. Asti Bhati Priti Nama Rupa.
What is Ati Bhati means?
These are the qualities, these are the attributes of creation, whereas the first 3 belong to Atma, the next 2, the last 2 belong to Jagat.
The Nama Rupa.
Nama Rupa, they keep changing, isn't it?
That's true.
You have a huge variety of names and forms out there. So those are the gunas. Whereas the first 3, Asti, Bhati, Priti, are there in every aspect. I mean, each of us has that. So that becomes the attribute, that becomes your swabhava, the swarupa lakshana and guna lakshana. Gunas can change.
You know, in Tattvabodh, we read that, we read the nature of the self, right? What is Atma and all that.
Yeah.
Then that what is the self. That's why it is the nature of existent consciousness and bliss.
Correct.
The nature of the self can be indicated in two ways. Tatacha Lakshana, indicated with respect to the world and its conditioning as the cause of the world, the witness of the thoughts. So that's a, for the Atma, Tatacha Lakshana is called witness of the thoughts. It acts as a witness. So Rupa Lakshana indicated directly as infinite, eternal. So that's a Swarupa Lakshana for the Atma. So you are saying like those, what is that called?
Asti bhakti priti nama rupa.
Oh, okay.
Brahmaraji, actually, Asti, Bhati, and Preeti or Priyam, whatever, they are the, it's like Satchitananda. They are attributed to the Brahman and Nama Rupa to the Jagat.
Correct.
Okay.
Yes, the first
So
three
that,
are the existence, consciousness, bliss, as you said, the same thing.
Yeah, Satchit Ananta, right? So that that is the one you are talking about, Ati Bhati Priyam.
Asti is existence,
Asti.
Bhati is consciousness, and Priyam is bliss or
Ananda.
Ananda.
Ananda. Chit is the consciousness. I'm trying to find that, but I don't have that in here. That sloka, what you're saying.
I think this is in Drigdrishya Viveka they mentioned.
Okay. Anyway, fine. But I just wanted to say about the Swarupa Lakshana and the Tataksha Lakshana.
Yeah, that's nice. That perspective where the Tatastha Lakshana is where you
witness.
take Atma to witness consciousness of the world with respect to the world.
Right.
Alone, it is Satchidananda Swarupa.
Right.
By itself, it shines as Satchidananda Swarupa. Yeah.
So
and
your nature,
the world is there for us to, number one, enjoy, and it is through the world only that we as Ajnanis get to the self-realization. So it is using the world we get it. So the world therefore is there as a tool, as an instrument for us.
Atma Nastu
It's at the Vyavaharika level, you're saying.
Yeah. Because where else, how else will we do karma yoga and polish our intellect? Isn't it? So that for that you require the world.
Parsiji's presentation you are showing now?
Yeah, let me show that. Yesterday we stopped at this subtle body, 5 pranas. We're doing a lot of discussion on the tanmatras and the 5 pranas. Just let me give 1 second. Let me share that screen.
Well, tanmatras is like, they say it's called rudimentary elements. What is that made out of? 5 great elements.
Brahmanaji, are we taking the chakras? Because many people may have not done the advanced course.
Just give me a little time. One
Yeah.
second. Let me just share the screen once again. You let me know which one you wanted to share. I will share that.
We had talked about the Panchkoshas, no?
Huh.
There are a couple of slides on that because
Okay.
chakras would take, I mean, many people would not have done the advanced course, and that subject is a little different.
Okay. So you
Maybe
don't want
later.
chakras.
No. After that, there are
Body
Panchkoshas.
cycles.
Sorry? You just
It is
have
body cycles.
body cycles you can take. Yeah, body cycles we can do. Yeah. So here what I've done is like why Brahma Muhurat, why we need to get up, what time should we eat, what time should we sleep, why. All that is explained. When I done my course in nutrition, this was a very gross way. Now in Ayurveda, according to your Vatpita Kapha, you are given exact timings when you should be getting up, what time you should be eating, etc. So the body cycles are explained here. The elimination cycle is from Brahma Muhurat time, 4 o'clock till 12 p.m. Is everyone comfortable with English or you want me to speak in Hindi also?
English okay, perfectly okay.
Yeah, okay. So the elimination cycle is when the toxins are thrown out from the body. Now, normally when students come to the class, they realize they are only aware that the uh, physical matter that we throw out of the body is toxins. But that is just about 10 to 15%. 90% of the toxins are eliminated through our respiratory cycle. We breathe in oxygen, we throw out carbon dioxide. And therefore, it is very essential that between this period of 4 to 12, we do our sadhana, the Sudarshan Kriya, etc. So Brahma Muhurat, the time, now you can see how it correlates. It helps, it enhances in throwing out the toxins at that time out of the body. So the body stays healthy. From 12 o'clock in the afternoon till 8 o'clock at night is known as the absorption cycle. And during that cycle, the share screen is gone.
Yeah, it is gone because
Huh.
I'm not able to manage it on my phone. I'm just emailing it to
Okay.
myself. You can continue. I will just
Okay.
share in a few moments.
So when the absorption cycle is on, the food that we have eaten between 12 to 8 gets split from solids to semi-solids and liquefied finally. So that whole process happens between at the absorption cycle timings. That is 12 to 8, 12 noon to 8 p.m. That is why we need to eat during that time. Then from 8 p.m. again, till 4 o'clock in the morning is the assimilation cycle. And during that cycle, that liquefied food has all the nutrition that is required by our body. And then that is carried by the process of osmosis. The nutrients are transferred to the blood. And the blood, but through its circulatory system, takes it from the heart to distant parts in the body. Every cell in the body has to be given nutrients to keep them. We have the process of anabolism and catabolism. So every cell in your body requires this. So the assimilation cycle is a heavy duty work going on, and that is why we need to sleep at that time between 8 to 4. So the thing to remember is that, okay, we are all working people and we may not be able to go to sleep or have our food, but staying as close to the cycles as possible is very good for the body being ailment free. Normally today there is a tendency, especially amongst teenagers, to go to discos and pubs and then they eat at 2 o'clock in the night, etc. When you explain to them technically as to how the assimilation cycle is on, see what it shows here is when is the blood supply required. Morning, when you are talking from 4 o'clock till 12 o'clock, the blood supply is going to your lungs. And that is where it is required because of the respiration. And therefore, when you are doing your sadhana, you are throwing out all the toxins. And the blood supply, the circulation is maximum in the lungs. Then when you are 12 to 8, when the absorption cycle is on, at that time the blood supply is in the stomach. So it digests the food at that time. So it helps in the digestion process. Now in the assimilation cycle, if you were to eat after 8 o'clock, it interferes with the nutrients that has to be carried by the blood to every cell in your body, from say Delhi to Kashmir and Delhi to Kanyakumari. By that I mean from your heart to your brain and to the tips of your toes. So when such heavy duty work is going on, see, trucks are allowed in the city of India only at night, heavy duty vehicles which travel from different cities to the ports, etc. So all this assimilation cycle is on. Now if you eat after 8 o'clock, then the blood has to go to the stomach to digest that food. And then some of it will get digested, some will remain undigested, causing ailments in your body. So that is how you explain to these teenagers why they do not need to eat at 2 o'clock at night, why they need to sleep. Because when the body is doing heavy duty work, you need to take rest. So this was, in short, a way of explaining why you need to do your sadhana at what time, when do you need to eat, and when do you need to go to sleep. Staying as close to the cycles is good for you to be ailment free. Second, next. Then we talked about the 4 sources of energy and its connection with the Panchkoshas. And then here, what I do is normally explain the right quantity and the right quality of food is very essential. Again, we talk about sattvic bhojan and all that. And we say paneer and rajma is tamasic. So it will cause you lethargy in the body. So we are not saying don't eat this, but see how you can balance out what. Then there is a saying that you eat brinjal and onions, they give negative energy to the body. But you can eat it if you can eat positive energy stuff also and balance it out. And what are those things I cover here for positive energy? I mean, if you want, you can take a note of it. Dates are a go down of positive energy. And we recommend 2 dates 3 times a day, after breakfast, after lunch, after dinner. So it's a rich source of positive energy. The linkage of positive energy is to your positive thoughts and to your positive emotions. If the food that you eat is just negative, like brinjals, onions, etc., then it gives rise to negative thoughts and negative emotions. The food you eat is connected to your thought process and your emotions, your feelings. So there the right quantity and right quality of food. Then again we say in English there is a saying, fruit is the root from fear to faith. And psychiatric doctors
Say
say
that again, Persiji.
fruit is the root
Mm-hmm.
from fear to faith.
Fruit is the root from fear to
Fear
faith.
to faith. And psychiatric doctors say that deep down within you is fear, and that is the cause of your depression. So see how important fruit is in your life. So when I said that the elimination cycle is on from 4 to 12, actually what do we need to eat for breakfast is fruits, a good amount of fruits. And that will keep your thought process. See, all this positive energy stuff that you eat will give you. Of course, you can have a vati of upma or poha or whatever you make of sattvic breakfast, but stay more on fruits, I would say. And basically, it is proved now. My nutritionalist 30 years back used to tell me, Dr. Vijaya Venkat, that our DNA, by DNA, human beings are fruitarians. We don't need to eat anything else. And we normally eat fruits only during fast. So that again, how important fruits are in our daily life. Oh, my. Then the next is salads. All the raw vegetables that we eat, carrots, onions, etc., for along with our lunch and dinner, that is essential source of positive energy. Especially for diabetic people, I say eat big pieces, chunks of carrots, so that your jawbone gets tired and it sends a wrong signal to the brain that my stomach is full. When you chew on the jawbone, when you eat a lot of food, it gets tired. So when you chew on when you chew on chunks of carrots, gajar, mooli, etc., then the wrong signal is received by the brain that the stomach is full, and then whatever you eat will be very less quantity. And the last is whatever we sprout, the sprouted beans, etc., is a good source of positive energy. So for me, the linkage of the right, see, we during our sadhana, we concentrate on our breath and all that. But even food, the right quality and quantity is contributing to our thought process and our emotions. So it enhances your sadhana in a way. So only like what we learn in Sudarshan Kriya, the sadhana and all that, yes, that is important. But if you concentrate on your food, that is also important. Then the right quality and the right quantity of sleep. And of course, knowledge we know where it works. So like the connection to the Annamaya Kosh by the way of food, our breath with the Pranmaya Kosh, the sleep and knowledge to our Manmaya Kosh. If we are disturbed, Raton ko karvate badalte rehte, we toss and turn. So for having a good peaceful sleep, why knowledge is important also. And one more thing that I'd like to state here is that if you're not getting sleep for whatever reason, you come out of knowledge. It happens sometimes, especially during this pandemic. A lot of people had knowledge, but they were disturbed. That time, do Yog Nidra. Gurudev recommended that. Let's do Yog Nidra. It's like doing a body scan. And then your body and mind, once that is scanned, they are the parents of your organs. And all the organs are then remaining healthy. So do Yog Nidra twice, thrice if you want, if you don't get sleep. If you are really in that state of mind where you are just tossing and turning. That is what I wanted to cover in this next slide. Just one moment, my
No problem.
power is running out. Yeah. Now this is where we are talking about. Yeah, it's the same thing. This is the same slide in two languages.
Same slide in English,
yeah,
no?
Yeah. Now here I don't want you to get mixed up. See, there is a different schools of thoughts. we here are following right up till the causal body, as we say. And here they have put Anandmaya Kosh in the supracausal body level. That's okay. Like there will always be, like when we are following the Nath tradition, the Nath Sampradaya will say Shiv Shakti is everything. Shiv created this world, and there was Ichha Shakti, Gyan Shakti, and Kriya Shakti, through which this whole world was projected as a Mithya Maya sort of. So always these different schools of thoughts. There are going to be disciples who follow different schools of thoughts. Let it not lead to any confusion. When I did from Bihar School of Yoga, this is the way we were taught. So this is just a link of the 7 levels of existence with our different koshas. Like body, we relate it with the Anmaya kosha, the breath with the Pranmaya kosha, the mind, intelligence, memory, and ego with the Manmaya kosha. Then the causal body, Vijnanmaya kosha, is kept separately for a certain reason. The next slide will show it to you as to why I have kept it separately like this. This is the
next slide.
Sorry. Vijnanmaya kosha is where the Riddhi Siddhis happen. And in this, normally a lot of art of living teachers and senior volunteers will talk about how life is so miraculous and how miracles happen in life. And if you get oh, miracles are happening and you become egoistic about it, then you fall down from the Vijnanmaya kosha back to the Manmaya kosha. Are you getting what I'm saying? But if you take it as a way of life, oh, Guru's grace is flowing, miracles are happening, then you can.
Siji, I didn't get that. Can you explain that one more time? What the Vinyan?
See, okay. With our sadhana, seva, satsang that we do, knowledge and all that we do, in the Vijnanmaya kosha, we get siddhis as it is called. Siddhis is that we get powerful, our intentions tend to manifest very fast, miracles start happening in our life, etc. So life becomes miraculous. Now, sometimes maybe some teachers or volunteers may become egoistic. Then these things stop happening to you. And you go back down to the ego state. From where are you operating? What we say that the veils of ignorance are covering the self, we can remove them only when we go beyond the ego state in the 7 levels of our existence.
Right, okay.
Like a Sufi saint, son said that for years I kept on cleaning the mirror till I realized that the dust was on my face. So it is like only when you are able to go beyond the ego state. It is a level of our existence. Ego expanded makes you happy. Ego contracted, you become like a rock. You make life miserable for people around you, and you are full of sorrow also. Behind every tear is a person waiting to be healed. He's saying, I'm here. उसको तारना है. हम कैसे तारे उसको? So even there, reach out with love and compassion, and you can bring that person around. Bring him out of his ego barrier. The constricted ego is normally an egoistic person who's like a rock, a chattan. What we have to be is, we have to be like the flowing water. Simply flows over the mountainous rock in its way. No conflict whatsoever. That's judgment over people. Okay?
Yeah.
Okay, next slide.
Got it. Thank you. Yeah.
So now this is where I was talking about yesterday about ailments being of 2 types, Adicha Vyadi and Anadicha Vyadi. Anadicha Vyadi means ailment, is coming from external sources. Like you meet with an accident and your limbs are injured and you need medication. Or a mosquito comes from outside, from the environment, and bites you and you get malaria. So these are very rare kind of, they say about 10 to 15% of ailments are due to this kind of external environment conditions. And medical science has a solution only for this anadicha vyadhi. That is the ailment caused by the external circumstances. The adicha vyadhi is caused by internal stress. Now, where that comes out? See, we have an aura surrounding our body, as it is called. And I had read an article some time back saying that Gurudev was in the Yagyashala and there was some trillion photography where they measured his aura and it was fully yellow golden in color. And it had spread throughout the Yagyashala and it had spread over all the people sitting there also, like covered their aura. And how much of healing goes on, that was all said over there. So how the aura of a enlightened master affects you and what he keeps doing to heal you is beyond, you cannot fathom that, nor can we scientifically explain that. But they say that the aura is pierced first. It's like a sheath covering your body, an energy field covering your body. Like in the Mahabharata youth, they had that shield which they would put forward to stop the arrows from striking their body. The aura shield is there to protect you from ailments. It's an energy field around your body. That is why all that positive energy that I talked about by way of food, by way of your breath, all that is so important. It keeps your aura powerful. So the aura is affected first, and then it comes down to your panchkoshas. The ailments come down. So the stress which is there, now where does it work? It works at the first, it affects at the Vijnanmaya kosha. And the sooner we address the stress at that level, the better. Why it is there? Because there is lack of knowledge over there. You are stressed out for a number of reasons. There is a deficiency in knowledge. You are in non-acceptance. You see intentions behind other people's mistakes. All those things which we did, the 5 course points, that is where the stress occurs in the Vijnanmaya kosha. And then there is no viveka. The discrimination that we talked about, viveka and vairagya, see how important it is. That goes down to disturb the mind. So then when it goes still further down, it gets transferred to the pranmaya kosha. And then there is a cause for irregular breathing there. And then when it goes still further down, it leads to ailments in the annamaya kosha, the gross body. So now they say, what is the way out? So if the ailments have come to the level of your annamaya kosha and you have not taken corrective action, then the way out is through yoga, exercise, and medicines. You would have to take medicines also. For a quiver-free breath to correct your irregular breathing. So, like Guruji says, body free from ailments, quiver-free breath, mind free from disturbances, all that Gurudev says. So, irregular breathing is covered through pranayam. So, all the long, deep breath itself is the yoga, so-called yoga breath or abdominal breath itself is so powerful in correcting the rhythm that has become irregular, the breathing rhythm that has become irregular. So you want to make your breath quiver free, the yoga breath or the abdominal breath is so powerful. Just taking long, deep breaths. How it calms the disturbances in the mind also. And then you go up to all the 3-stage pranayam and the Bhastrika. When I take Bhastrika, I tell them it's the best tarika to get rid of stress. Bhastrika is the best tarika. Is the to remove stress from your body. And whenever I've gone for any trauma relief camps, one thing that Gurudev has told me to teach people there who are undergoing a lot of trauma due to terrorist attacks or tsunami or any calamity that has taken place, earthquakes, etc., is Bhastrika Pranayama. This is one thing that we go and teach there, along with some warm-up yoga and then the satsang that we take over there. So that corrects you. Then in the Manmaya Kosha, to make the disturbance-free mind again, meditation helps a lot. And again, when we want to stop the stress at the Vijnanmaya course itself, it is through knowledge and satsang. See, personally, example, when I lost my siblings during relatives during pandemic, I moved away from knowledge. I was overpowered by grief. The moment I came to this class again, or Gita class, I came back into knowledge. I'm free from that grief. See how that knowledge, that satsang works to remove the stress that is there in your Vijnanmaya course. And how then it goes towards my sleep got affected. I could not sleep at night. I went on doing Yod Nidra twice, thrice. Throughout the night, I was tossing and turning. When you move away from knowledge, that happens. And sometimes it just happens. Pandemic was an unusual period. A lot of people, psychiatric doctors also, when they were sharing with Guruji was taking knowledge sessions with groups of people all across the world. And he was making people meditate twice a day, 12:30 and 7. And that was the only way out people could come out of it. I hope you realize the importance of all this as to where it affects our koshas, and what we can do to stop this getting affected.
This is so beautiful, Percy ji, this particular slide. I mean, all that you've shared so far is great, wonderful. But this one gives a proper correlation as to why we need to do what we're doing.
Why? Because, and also simply talking about the koshas when we do Tattva Bodha and all that, this gives a better understanding of what needs to be done when.
Yeah.
That is why I went to the body cycles also, said it, why you need to do your exercises and yoga in the Brahma Muhurta and all that. There's
it
a lot.
Really makes sense, Persiji. I mean, having the way that this slide is very beautiful. And yeah, I think it really, even medically speaking, you can apply it.
I was a little hesitant because there are so many medical
Thank you.
doctors here.
No,
Thank you for sharing.
Really, I would
Persiji.
appreciate that. Thank you for sharing. Really.
In the completion of this slide, I'll just say that we have two systems in our body, the parasympathetic system and the sympathetic nervous system. And it is, the sympathetic nervous system comes into play only when there is a reason for us to fight or flight. When fear overpowers us, like a lion coming or a bear coming in front of us. But today, with the use of mobile phones, there are so many messages which figure out this chemical reactions in our body. And that gives rise to this sympathetic nervous system coming into play, which releases hormones, which are negative hormones. The negative hormones are cortisol, there is adrenaline. When you want to fight or flight, adrenaline, we call it the adrenaline gush, it is called. And the adrenaline gush that is there, that is a heavier dose of adrenaline secreted. Your face would go white and the blood supply goes to the legs so that you can run faster, run away from the situation. So that is why adrenaline is secreted. So the body has its own mechanisms, but because of our mind, these chemicals are triggered off. In the earlier days, the sympathetic nervous system would only come into play if you come across a wild animal in the jungle. Nowadays, the mobile phone triggers it off very fast. So many times in 1 hour, I would say. And to quieten that system down, it takes 20 to 25 minutes. And that is why every meditational process that Gurudev gives is about 20 to 22 minutes. Because it requires the sympathetic nervous system to quieten down. And the parasympathetic nervous system to start again.
Should I go up?
So that's a meditation that that helps, right? Yeah.
Yeah, that's how it works. It quietens down the sympathetic nervous system.
Yeah. One quick question,
Yes.
Persiji. The previous slide you put that Anantamaya Kosha, some other body, right? But according
Don't
to
leave
that,
it, leave it at that. That will cause confusion. Some
right, right.
people,
No,
there are
I'm
two
not
schools
going
of.
in there, but
Uh,
okay. But I heard that in the Tattvabodh, what we read is it's a part of the causal body,
yes, causal
Anantamaya Kosha.
body. But they
Right.
have kept it separate as the supracausal body. See, if you
Supracausal.
go to the ISKCON temple, what do they call that group? I don't remember the name right away.
Krishna
It's a different,
consciousness.
uh, they are a different
Krishna
sect of people.
consciousness. Yeah.
They believe that Jivatma and Paramatma are separate, they are not the same. But like Nana
Oh, okay,
says,
okay.
the waves cannot be different from the ocean. Both are
Okay, I got.
both
All
are
right.
water. And that is what even our people say when we are following Guruji. So we keep it at the causal level. It cannot be separate. They don't believe in it that Paramatma and Jivatma are separate. They want to keep it at separate levels. But that confusion we won't go into here.
Yeah, I
Different
think for
schools of
our
thought.
line of study, we could stick with Shankaracharya's
Yes.
Advaita, which is what is mentioned in the Tattva Bodh, Atma Bodh, Bhagavad Gita. In fact, what the home study Gita that we're doing, Swami Dayananda Saraswati has actually taken it from the Shankara Bhashya.
Shankara
But
Bhashya, right?
that line of thought will be fine. Like Persiji said, there may be different schools of thought, but that might only add to confusion. So we'll stick to this line of thought, which even Gurudev follows. He follows the Advaita
Yeah,
philosophy.
just to know what is the other part of it is
Yeah.
also okay. I mean, it's not anything
Yeah,
we will
as I
follow
explained to
Advaita,
you, yeah, it is
but
as I explained to you, they keep Jivatma and Paramatma
Paramatma,
separate.
right?
Infinite consciousness is separate from your consciousness, your Atma or Chetna or Jivatma.
Okay, got it, got it. Thank
Yeah.
you.
So they segregate it.
Mhm.
Whereas we say Paramatma is within us or whatever, like we are Paramatma, like Jivatma without ignorance. Shall we go to the next slide? Do we have time for this?
Yeah, I think we can do. How many more slides are there?
Just two.
Yeah,
Pranas
please do.
also was there yesterday. So we can take the pranas also. This is a slide made on this hormones. Why it is important is that after doing everything also, there was a story in which a couple is sitting together. They have a garden as big as a football field in front of their bungalow. They have separate cars. They have all the wealth in the world. And the wife says, after the morning walk in the morning, they're having the cup of tea. The wife says, I don't know, but I'm not feeling happy. Why I'm in this dull, morose state. And then the husband sees that he also is not happy. Now, when you have everything at your disposal, wealth, etc., correlating it with the Sat Sampati is real wealth. So important in life. And now that you see that these people had everything, but they were still not happy. And we are chasing objects, we are chasing relationships, and in spite of that, we are not happy. And then the husband goes around, he cannot find answers with anybody. Till he meets one of his school friends, a lady who was a schoolmate, and she happens to be in the psychiatric field. And then she explains to him how the hormones have an effect on us. And then we classify them into two categories, the positive and the negative, or better to call it happy hormones, and how each hormone has an effect on us. And when are they liberated? So, when you do in the morning yoga, or whenever you do any kind of aerobics, exercising that you cause, naturally there is pain in the body. And to combat that pain, endorphins are released. And that causes happiness. So when you do 30 minutes of daily exercising or you're doing your yoga for 30 minutes, then endorphins are released. Also, anything that causes you laughter, you're watching a Tom and Jerry cartoon, or you are watching Laurel and Hardy cartoon or something like that, that also releases endorphins. It is necessary. I mean, all the time knowledge, knowledge, knowledge we cannot do. Why in the practical world we need to do this also is because that takes care of our endorphins, the happy hormone, which is required for us. While laughter is important for us. And it is said that a person traveling with a president of America was sucked into a vacuum created when the plane was to be, plane had just started before takeoff. And he had bodily injuries. And because he used to travel with the president, he was kept in a hospital. And he had no limb movements, nothing. And he was he was there so that he could die peacefully in the hospital since he was such a big personality. And there his friends brought him some cartoons to see. And he smiled and his finger movement was there. And then every day they started bringing cartoons. And then finally he became all right. His body started getting healed. If you realize how much laughter is important to you, being positive is important to you, when endorphins are secreted, how you can maintain your health, how you can get even from ailment.
They say laughter is the best medicine.
Yeah, this is like a Manaha tapas, right? Like the cheerfulness, that's one of those. Mana prasada, yeah, mana tapas. Yeah, this is really neat, Persiji. I hope this kind of slides, whether we can share it with in the group or is it something private?
I don't mind. Yeah. Knowledge is meant to be shared. I don't know whether I just am a student who goes on learning.
No, this is really neat. It's even for family members. I would like to have the slide. It'd be really nice, to review it. Yeah, thank you so much.
Wherever you want to use them, you can use them. Even in your courses, those who are teachers can use them. Wherever you want.
Yeah. It's really kind of connects the spiritual knowledge with your real, practical knowledge too.
So, in the corporate world, we have to do everything through science. There is no spirituality there. But that is the way we have to do it there. Guruji says, let them be with their ego. Let them not be on the ego state. It's all right. Let them come here at least. So we have to explain everything to them scientifically.
It's really neat.
My own way of doing it. So this was my way of doing it through my slides. I led the MSc project, the SME project for 2 years. I was the first leader in India for small scale industries. I led it all over India for the first 2 years. So that is the time when I put in a lot of effort taking corporate courses and training teachers to take corporate.
That's really neat.
We are really blessed to have you in our, have you share.
I feel blessed to be here. I went through a very lean period and you people were instrumental in bringing me out. I don't know, it happens to the best of us.
So wonderful knowledge, Persiji. Thank you so much. It's really beautiful and really wonderful knowledge to know the details, diving deep inside where we were always on the surface level. This is really going deep and knowing more. Thank you so much.
You're welcome.
Thank you so much, Persiji. Really, we can incorporate in our life. It's so beautiful knowledge.
We come to the next hormone, that is dopamine. This is when, today's world, people have lots of projects which are time-based, which need to be completed on time. A lot of times projects cannot be completed on time. A lot of times the project gets completed on time. There's a lot of teamwork, like there is global work going on. One team in India will hand over the work to the next team working in a different part of the world. So there is a lot of interaction there and the project gets completed. If it gets completed on time, it's an achievement. And then the boss may give you a bonus, he may use good words. That is the time when you have that feel-good factor and dopamine is released there. But for a housewife doing household chores, she is unhappy because she does not receive appreciation nor acknowledgement. You may go for dinner somewhere else, and there you may appreciate that person. Oh, wow, the dal is so well made today. But when it comes to your own wife, you don't show appreciation towards them. When they don't receive appreciation, then they have their dopamine released by going on shopping sprees. So if you want the ladies in the house not to spend money over shopping, you better start appreciating them.
I think
acknowledging the good work.
The note to all the husbands here.
That's really neat. Maybe you have to write something for yourself to appreciating, acknowledging.
Yeah.
You know,
it is like they buy cars, they buy gadgets and all that. So all this, when you go on shopping sprees, dopamine is released. So when somebody appreciates you, see in the advanced course, when you do it, we have a process: praise your partner, praise yourself. When you are critical of people, when you are grumbling, criticizing people, that is a demonic asuri gun, as we call it. Now I'm learning Sanskrit.
That's good.
when we appreciate somebody, it is called daily good. It's a divine quality to appreciate people. So more and more, see how we can, at the end of the day, we all want to be happy. And by doing all this, when we appreciate people, their interactions with us. So whatever is causing us dukkha in our lives is our relations and our attachment to objects and relations. So if we make that good all around us, then we remain happy. Then the third, I go to oxytocin first. Hugging, shaking hands, belongingness. Our course used to belong, the part 1 course used to belong, start with I belong to you, if you remember. So important a statement that Gurudev used to make us do. Every course used to start with I belong to you, and at the end of the course, people would be hugging each other. When they used to, again do the last time they used to do the I belong to you process. They would shake hands, they would hug each other. And that is when oxytocin is liberated. That is also a happy hormone. And in the psychiatric world, they say the best cure for a child's depression is a mother's hug. Many a times, the mother-in-laws, whatever provocation is there, we tend to take it out on our children. I say, please don't do it. They are like blossoming flowers. Let them bloom. बहुत जल्दी मुरझा जाएंगे. If you scold them, you take out anger on them. Please don't do it. Hug them, hug your children. That is when oxytocin is liberated. There was a movie, Munna Bhai or something, in which he goes giving jadoo ki jappi to people around him. And that is where oxytocin is liberated. And finally, my favorite subject, seva. Seva is when serotonin is liberated. When you do seva, serotonin is liberated. So these are the happy hormones that are there. And if we go back to the earlier slide, if you want to go into Anandmaya Kosha, I have shown that the disturbance starts in the Vijnanmaya Kosha. It gets stretched out first because of lack of knowledge and satsang. So satsang also means chanting or doing bhajan kirtan. Bhajan kirtan is an automatic way of chanting. If you sing the song Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya, then you're chanting in the bhajan, isn't it? And then when you do selfless service, then you're staying in Anandmaya Kosha. When you're doing this selfless service, seva when you're doing, you're moving your mind from I, me, mine, my family. And that is when dispassion, the seeds of dispassion are sown there. You are with some other group, you are working in the slum, say, you are working with jail inmates. Wherever you are working with the people who are less privileged than you, then your mind is moving away from yourself to people around you. And when you do selfless service, then you come to the Anandmaya Kosha, where you experience bliss and only bliss. That is why seva is so important. If you want to be in bliss, then keep on doing selfless seva all around you. So how you can do more and more of seva is so important. So meditation will keep your mind from being disturbed. Knowledge will keep your Vijnanmaya Kosha from being disturbed. Your sadhana will help you in keep giving you a quiver-free breath. All the yoga exercises will keep your body disease-free, body quiver-free, breath, mind-free from disturbances. And seva will take you to your ego, which encompasses everybody, an expanded ego, where you call it Vasudhaiva Kutumbakam. From the I, me, mind, you move to Vasudhaiva Kutumbakam. The whole world is yours. And there you serve. So from that, and then there is one more, in the negative hormones, you have cortisol. This is not kept here. No, not this one. No, keep it on the hormones only. I have not made that slide yet. Maybe I'll get down to making it when one of my volunteers is available. I concentrated up till now on the happy hormone. The cortisol is what stresses you out, the hormone cortisol. And adrenaline gush, as I said, is required for flight or fright. And these cause havoc in the body. Excessive liberation of this stresses you out, and the slide shows you what kinds of ailments you get at the body level when the negative hormones are released. So that is what I wanted to share. Another quick sharing is there's a hormone called melatonin, which is secreted after sunset for 2.5 hours. And it is at its peak for 2.5 hour period. So between 8 to 10:30, when you are on your mobile phone or when you are watching TV, we are stopping the melatonin being released to the extent it is required. And melatonin induces sleep for us. All our disturbances in our sleep pattern is because of the ultraviolet or the blue light, as we call it, coming from the mobile and TVs. So I just wanted, in the earlier days in the villages, sunset, we would have our dinner, because then mosquitoes would start coming, insects would start coming in and be around all the lanterns that were lighted. And then we would have to go to sleep because the kerosene in the lantern would last for an hour or two. So by 9:30, people would go to sleep. But today is the days of electrical lights, and we keep using. Even all these messages that you see during night time, they trigger off that sympathetic nervous system and causing stress in your system, which again disturbs your sleep, is what I have to say. Again, in the when we say that eat your food between 12 to 8 in the absorption, elimination and assimilation cycle that I explained to you, is when you have a heavy meal at night, then there is a secretion of a chemical called insulin. And that reduces when a heavy dose of insulin, if you have a heavy meal, more insulin will be secreted. And that reduces the serotonin from being secreted. It interferes, these chemical imbalances take place. So that again interferes with the melatonin secretion. And if your sleep is disturbed, I would recommend Yog Nidra, where the body scanning takes place, the mind scanning takes place. Body, mind are like your parents, and they look after all the organs in your body. So then that is okay. Night you may have milk, because milk contains calcium. Calcium increases serotonin. And ladies who have menopause, estrogen levels are imbalanced. Don't be anxious about that imbalance. Body will adapt with estrogen levels. If you do Surya Namaskar, I do tend to teach it. The pituitary, pineal and thyroid gland are the main glands in the body. And if you do your Surya Yoga, that is a very simple yoga exercises, watching the sun before 9 a.m. If you do it, all these imbalances will get corrected. Because this hormonal imbalances after menopause leads again to the mind being disturbed, chidchirapan as we call it. By nature, you become irritable. So all this body-mind complex, how it works in synchronization with each other due to the chemicals being liberated, the imbalance in the chemicals again caused by the mind, how the mind controls all this. And then through that, all the body being, mind being happy, body being disease-free. Thank you for giving me a patient listening. Sorry for taking
there's
too much
one
time.
more slide. There's
Yeah,
one more.
that's the.
That is about the pranas. We had a discussion on the pranas, so I thought it may help. You may go through it.
That's why Gurudev was named as Happiness Program.
Sorry?
Gurudev has named as happiness program. So,
yeah.
Yeah. So, thank you, Persiji, for the wonderful insight.
Say the last slide also, please.
Yeah, Pran via Vayu, how it flows. Yesterday we had a lot of talk on the Prana Apana. So I made this slides on this as to where it works, and when it is too high, what one feels dull and heavy and gross in when the Apana Vayu is too high. When Prana Vayu is too high, it causes insomnia and jitteriness. So everything has to be balanced. See, the Pran Vayu be getting balanced by doing your Sudarshan Kriya. All this is so important. And then there are other 5 secondary Vayus also. The Naga is Vayu is for belching. The Kurma Vayu is for blinking and it allows for vision. The Kirkala is for sneezing and coughing. The Devadatta is yawning and sleeping. And the Dhananjaya Vaya is for producing phlegm and decomposition of the body after death. So those are the 5 secondary Vayus along with this 5 main Vayus. Sorry, 5 main prana Vayus. Yeah.
Very beautiful. You know, this slide of the happy hormones.
Yeah.
It seems like it's the correlation with the not only the manas tapas, but it's also might correlate with the antakarana shuddhi, where you're purifying your, you know, you're in that state of santosha, which is a kind of niyama that we have to follow.
See, this happiness and contentment, again, if you look at it, see, when you cook with love, oxytocin is released. So when, say, you're listening to bhajans while cooking, then this hormone, happy hormone, is released, oxytocin. And if you take it as a chore, then the stress hormone cortisol is released, causing you stress. So see,
so that is why. No, what I'm saying is the correlation between karma yoga and this slide is so beautiful. In that, if you're doing anything out of gratitude, out of devotion, automatically all these beautiful hormones are released. You're in gratitude, you're in devotion, you're offering everything as a yajna. That is karma yoga. And then whatever you receive, you're happy. So that feel good factor automatically happens. There is no question of you feeling frustrated. So therefore, dopamine is also released. There is no way, you don't need to look for outside appreciation because you are content from within. And whatever result you get from whatever you do, the consequence, you take it as prasada. So automatically dopamine is on a high. And yeah.
This is just another thing that I share about how you need to cook. Because that food that you eat also affects you, the way it is made by the housewife.
Very true.
So,
that is why they say when you eat from outside, generally people get sick because outside food, they don't cook with love. I mean, they just do it because they have to do it. And it is more commercial. Even if it is your housemaid who's cooking for you or a cook who's cooking for you, unless they are very devoted to the family, they may not cook with that same attitude as a mother who cooks.
Oh, yes. But for that matter, every chore that we do, I was sitting with an Ayurvedic doctor in some this thing, and she said there, whilst dusting and washing clothes, play music of your choice. If your mind is in the present moment, then Brahma Nadi gets activated and healing takes place in the body. See, so important as to how the mind and how it gets set and how the other or internal organs are playing a role. Then in the afternoon, you take time out for yourself. Carry out your hobby. It is important to give time to yourself. Play with children. Oxytocin is liberated. Then she had mentioned in the evening, connect with nature, watch the sky. When you connect with nature, the Panch Tattva gets balanced in the body. Weight loss happens also. She was giving a tip because a lot of people had asked question weight loss. And in advanced course, we bring the 5 senses inwards, discipline in life, make short-term goals. For 7 days, I will go for morning walk. So in the evening, I will be with nature. Depression patients are not disciplined. And when we now as sadhaks, we need to be disciplined. Even, I think the Patanjali Yoga Sutra says, Atha Yoga Anusasanam, the discipline in yoga right now. I am some Sanskrit I am also learning now.
Very nice. In fact, you know what, Persiji? I was thinking when you were talking about this, that you should also do one chant, one chapter of Bhagavad Gita chanting.
Oh my God, one paragraph would be something.
No. In doing that, it occurred to me, and I'm just putting this forward. I'm happy to help anybody who wants to, chant. So we can have maybe, I don't know how we can work it out. On
Yeah,
Zoom or maybe
I was thinking, like I actually put it for 7th chapter. I'm wondering, is there any time that I could kind of chant, practice, practice
not?
with me? I mean, I don't know, is there what time would be good for you, so
Don't
you
worry,
let me
we'll
know
figure
that.
out a time. We'll figure out a time and how we do it.
But if I'm going to do 7th chapter, it'll be on Friday, unless somebody doing 2 chapters tomorrow, then it will come faster.
No, I think we will do one chapter only per day.
Per day, okay.
Yeah, you let me know
And
how.
the other thing is, if something is difficult, like long chapter, maybe kind of dividing into like 10, 15, or at least two. If somebody has really difficulty, then we can share the chapter, 1 or 2 people, like who is
I think
like
which are
not
the
very
big
fluent.
chapters? Of these chapters, I think second chapter is the biggest that is done. So the
Right.
other chapters are like maximum 30, 40 more. Most of them, later chapters are just 20, 24 slokas. So they're not very big chapters.
Yeah.
But what I'm saying is not that I have great knowledge, but for whatever little I know, I would like to help out those that are just beginning. And
Yeah.
like you, I really appreciate that you came forward and you wanted to chant chapter 7. So in order to make it meaningful so that we minimize the number of, it is that mantra, because a mantra, like for instance, if you, even a single a matra, if you say, instead of saying if you just say the whole meaning will change from ajnana to jnana. So that difference will be there. Avidya, vidya. So the thing is, maybe we can have it on Zoom, or I can chant the few shlokas and post it as a voice note, and maybe you can
No,
follow
I
that.
am practicing with one of those videos. Like what I do is the Chinmaya tape also there. There is one other one that I follow, but I put that at a slow pace and the speed so that I can take those words.
Yeah, there are so many online available.
Right.
There are,
In fact, I thought of going back to our sloka thing in the chapter or whatever, I have to find the recording. So this was just easy to find something just sloka. And also I'm looking for the English
Even
words, right?
Padmini Chandrasekhar also is very good, Dr. Mara. Padmini Chandrasekhar. She's from Chinmaya Mission. It's in the YouTube. You go to YouTube and she chants, and after that you can chant with her. Like that it is.
No, I do, but I wanted to just repeat it back to recite it to somebody in the
so
class.
what you can do, Dr.
Either, if you have time, just to see to
What
correct me in case if
you
you have
can
any
do,
question.
what you can do is chant and record your chant and send it to me as a voice note.
Oh, okay.
That way I will be able to let you know in case there are any changes anywhere,
All right.
any corrections anywhere. So this is possible. I mean, anybody can chant. Even Percy ji, I would see you at the end of all of this also chanting chapter.
Yeah, I think all of us like should chant
My next birth,
Percy
probably.
and whoever
In a
wants to
Brahmin
do
family.
No,
Yes.
it is actually, it makes you feel good, like in fact, today I did all the three because today is the fourth chapter, right? So I was chanting along with Savita today. Savita ji was reciting, so I was doing it along with her. So if you practice it even while somebody is chanting, we are paying attention to that.
I think
Yeah,
that is what we should all be doing when someone is chanting rather than just listening. Listening is also good. But if you yourself follow the text, I know
text. Yeah,
what is being shown is only the Sanskrit version, but those of you who
right.
require the English
We have to
version,
be prepared ahead
with
of
you,
time so
yeah,
that
PDF
then
with
you
you
can,
and
yeah.
follow it. That's a wonderful way of catching
Yeah,
up with
I
chant.
actually wanted to tell you that today I did that, and it really makes you feel good. In fact,
A lot of
I
dopamine
was,
is being secreted.
yeah, your dopamine caught up, and then you follow it jumping and dancing, like I want to sing more and things
You
like
know,
that. It was like funny that,
right, right.
what happened, so I really think anybody, like not had it. I mean, I don't know Sanskrit letters either, so we can follow the English
English
version of the words and then keep saying it and of course, as you said, there is some difficulty, that what do you call that, padaseda, like you have to break the padas, so then there is a little, whether you say
doesn't matter. Once
avashyate,
you
like
make a
something like
beginning
that.
and you keep listening to it, it will
Yeah,
happen.
yeah,
It will
that's what
certainly
I'm
happen.
doing.
No doubt
Yeah,
about it.
yeah.
Here, while we're on the hormones, there's one thing I don't remember which hormone exactly that was that gets elevated, but there was this beautiful research done by an Indian doctor in Oxford. She
Mm.
did research on the Gayatri Mantra chanting. She did
Oh.
research on a control group on those that were chanting it mentally and those that were chanting it aloud.
Mm.
Those that were chanting both mentally and aloud had
Mm.
beautiful changes in their EEG waves that
Oh.
that that
Mm.
that brought in focus, clarity, alertness, and whereas those that were in the control group did not show the same. And whether you
Mm.
do it mentally or aloud, it is almost the same effect. So that brings to us the importance of not just the Gayatri Mantra. Gayatri Mantra, according to Gurudev, he says is
Mm.
the most powerful mantra after Om. Om is
Yeah,
the
it is.
most powerful,
Mm.
and then is the Gayatri Mantra.
So
But
that's what recommended for Nitya Karma also, right?
yeah, and
Mm.
any Sanskrit chant, if you look at it, you chant, you'll feel that feel good factor automatically happens.
Yeah, true.
There is, it's very enlivening, it's very uplifting when you just, even whether you listen or you chant, when you chant, it makes it even better. But
Yeah.
listening to chants also is equally invigorating.
Yeah, listening is like I was listening like Bhaja Govindam. I'll post that video. I mean, this is like an hour. It repeats itself like Bhaja Govindam with nice picture actually, and the English meaning too. Um, it is in English lyrics, so it is beautiful. I'll post that one. I was listening like while I'm cooking. I'll kind of trying to listen to that. Some of the slokas I know, but some of them, I still need to learn. Yeah, it's
Yeah,
it's really neat. Thank you, and it's just
nice. We
like
had a very nice session today.
yeah.
Thank you. Thanks to
Thank you,
Percy.
Persuji, again, and
Yeah.
Yeah,
So
I felt like we had mini DSN. Very nice. Thank you so much, everybody, especially Percy ji, for sharing such a treasure.
Vijay ji has mentioned something in the chat. Those who can read Devanagari script can buy a book called Srimad Bhagavad Gita Sugam Parayana Pustika, which makes it easier to chant.
Yeah, the way the words are split is very easy to chant. The bigger words are broken at the right place, and chanting becomes easier. At least I learned little bit of chanting from that book only.
Can you post that link if you can in the group?
I will post it. I'll post it. It is from Arsha Vidya Tirtha. It's Swami Dayananda ji.
Swami Dayananda Arsha Vidya Peetham.
I will really bless you. Please put it in the group. It would help me immensely.
I will send you. I will send you in the group. This helped me a lot in chanting actually. Means I am still learning, but I find it easier to chant reading from this book as compared to many other books I had referred earlier.
So this Devanagari script is like you have to learn the letters, right? I mean, how many letters are there?
About 20.
That is the whole lipi you have to learn. It'll
like in Tamil, we have like 240 something, you know, I like that many letters, you know, to learn Tamil, like language. I mean, there may be a little bit more than that, but this is, I know some letters.
Very difficult. No, it's not difficult at all, Dr. Mara. It is like a, I, u, u. So you have the vowels, you have the consonants, and then you have the matras, the E matra, A matra, E matra. So once you learn the basics, it becomes, it's not very difficult.
Yeah.
Maybe if
I
you
would like to do that.
online option of learning, you could do that. You could self that, and then it'll be easy for you to read the Devanagari script.
Okay, good.
Sometimes, you know why I'm saying it's not to discourage those that are following the English transliteration. Sometimes the English transliteration
it's not correct. Yeah.
Because you need to understand what the dot means, what that little slash means. So that requires effort too. So instead, if you put the effort in learning Devanagari, then you would have learned a beautiful the script of the Devas. That's why it's called Devanagari.
Yeah, I'm reading it from Chinmaya work only. That, but even that, you know, difficult. They are certain letters are not correct. You know, somewhere it say ha, some it says o in there, but so that they have to split that into a. You know, so that's why I thought I'll review it with somebody so that that'll be easier.
Yeah, maybe you can just type out learning Sanskrit alphabet or something online, and then you'll get some resources. You can maybe share those also in the group if you find some. That will help everybody else who needs to learn, and that we can take it forward that way. And I think the group energy will help everybody get on board. As it is, there's so much of beautiful, lots of volunteers now who are there to chant. So I think more can be added. And I think that'll be a perfect Guru Dakshina for Nana, because he would want to see everybody chanting, and that'll be great. So shall we stop here today? Today we could not go to Atmabodh per se, to the thing, but never mind, we've done a lot of good sharing. Percy ji, just one thing, you had shared something about what the Ayurvedic doctor had shared about the Panchatattvas, nature walk, and those few other points towards the end. Can you just share that as either as a written message or a voice note, please? I think I'll send him a message. He may not be there right now. So we'll close here today. Loka samasta sukhino bhavantu. Om Shanti Shanti Shanti. Sarvam Shri Krishnarpanamastu. Jai Gurudev.
Doctor, I was muted. I will, it's in my notes. I will send it across. I'll type it out.
Yeah, please. That will also be very helpful. You know, there's very nice points that you had mentioned.
Yeah.
So that will be great. Thank you. I was just thinking, you know, even saying Sarvam Shri Krishnarpanamastu will trigger the dopamine secretion, I guess. Hormones and
I'm sure it will. Even if you say Krishna, Krishna, you know, maybe, yeah, you just
there
go
was
into...
that, you know, there was this Japanese scientist, Dr. Emoto, who did his beautiful experiments on water and birds. And the outcome of all of this was, when you say something positive, that has a positive thing like love, gratitude, thankful, you know, those things triggered
harmony,
water crystal formation. Whereas when you said something which is a negative connotation, like I hate you, you know, all those negative things, the water crystals actually got distorted.
I remember that some experiment. Yes,
the whole body, human body is made up of 60 to 70% water. Just
water,
imagine any positive suggestion you give, positive thought you say, you know, that will automatically align your water crystals in beautiful patterns. And that is how I think the mantras also work. They align all of this, and therefore you feel good. You feel elevated. Whereas if you're dwelling on negative thoughts and you're saying negative things, you're scolding, you yourself feel very bad at the end of it. You don't feel good. No, you feel your ego is like.
Yeah, that is why they say no abhimantrit jal. So we can do it, experiment this in the house also. Many in Maharashtra, the WhatsApp messages are getting circulated that when the lady of the house, when she fills all the bottles and that ghada no garne, so what state of mind she is doing it, and what the means mantra she is chanting and filling the water in that, it definitely changes the whole atmosphere in everybody's mind. This law of attraction and that 80% water our body is made up of, it works wonders in the houses. So we all of us, we can experiment this. It is becoming means a lot of people are propagating this left, right, center. But it is really very easy way to affect our our whole existence. Jai Gurudev. Just drinking water, if we can उसको अभिमंत्रित जो बोलते हैं ना हिंदी में अभिमंत्रित जल, तो वो that mantra can be anything. कि okay, I want to miss, I am slim, so I want to become slim. नहीं, be in the present moment. I am slim. My body weight is whatever you want to reduce, that final weight you say, my body weight is this much, and put that hand on the water, and then drink that water throughout the day, because that water has absorbed that the body weight is this much, and that water gets assimilated in your whole system. So 80% of your whole system is reverberating that the body weight is this, the body weight is this, the body weight is this, and it becomes very easy to lose the weight. This is just one example. You can use this technique for infinite ways, in infinite ways. Jai Gurudev.
Yeah, maybe for us, if we could use it to just, you know, purify ourselves, purify our mind, intellect, the antakarna, that should be good. And yeah, and this is the importance of also prayer, of homas, and it's just connecting the dots. Everything is like fitting into place. How that's why nitya karma is so important. Nice.
Simply when Gurudev is on the screen, no, we can nowadays we can put it the YouTube on the big screen also with the speakers and all. So there, what I do when the yajnas are happening, homas in the ashram, and we are in the house, so I keep one silver vessel filled with water and keep it in front of the from where the sound is coming. So naturally, I make sure at least some portion of it is getting absorbed in that water of those chants. And Gurudev is live on the screen also, no? So, and our minds are also in that space. So, in all that kalasha or whatever water we are keeping in front of that, it gets that abhimantrit jal, no? It's just my own way of doing something sitting at home, but we can experiment, think on these lines, and start doing little for purifying our minds and uplifting ourselves.
Of course.
Hey Gurudev, I can't stop myself from sharing this. Whenever Nanaji utters Kitaya, oh my God, it is so full of bhakti, my God. And each Kitaya is different from the previous Kitaya or the whatever. It is just amazing, just amazing. Jai Gurudev.
What is the previous Kitaya and which Kitaya is different? I thought there was only one Kitaya.
Yeah, there is one Kitaya, but the expression in which he utters that Kitaya, it is just different. I don't have words, you know.
You mean
it is amazing. It is amazing. With each rasa, you call it 9 rasas are there. With each rasa, I have experienced is Kitaya. So wonderful.
Very good. So all this is his vibhuti. That we are all here sharing all of this is another vibhuti, his manifestation. So Sarvam Shri Krishnarpanamastu. Jai Gurudev.
Jai Gurudev, feeling
Tomorrow,
so blessed.
Is there anybody who is volunteering to chant chapter 5?
If nobody is there, I will chant Brahmaraji.
Okay.
If there is somebody, it's fine. We will wait for the day.
Yeah, because Archana ji said if no one is chanting, I will chant, but I don't think she's attending. I will send her a message.
Yeah.
If she's able to join, well and good. If not, you can chant.
Yeah, please. Yeah, she had said in the message separately that she would love to chant any.
Bella, in order, if you wish to, you can record your chant and send it to me. In case there are any little corrections to be done, I will happily help you.
Okay.
Okay,
Brahmaraj.
Even I will also do the whichever is my, I think I have taken the 9th or the 12th.
Yeah, please do.
So record and send it to you.
Yeah, please do.
Because whoever can send record, I mean, if Madhuri ji is free and can send, then it will be very nice. You can chant tomorrow then.
No, I just want to chant the 9th and 12th. Tomorrow's I will have to practice a lot.
Bella, doesn't matter if you have no time to do this, doesn't matter. You can go ahead and chant. If not, if you can, then record and chant and send it to me. It'll take 10-15 minutes maybe.
Okay.
All right. Jai Gurudev.
Yeah. Jai Gurudev.